everybody. Obviously, hope you had a little time to yourselves as we did this bye week. Had an opportunity to hopefully get some guys a little bit healthy. We'll get to that injury report.
I'm on it.
And we'll see where that is as we go. Obviously, there will be more to that on Wednesday. Kind of see where guys are at, but I know a lot of them are really trying and pushing to play in this game. It's one of college football's best rivalries, and the opportunity to go play in the great city of Jacksonville in a stadium that's split down the middle. I think it's just a great environment, and the city does an outstanding job for both teams, opening their doors and making it a lot of fun for everybody involved. So really looking forward to that. Obviously this is a team that's playing at a high level. They're playing really well. Kirby's got them playing well. They're a team that offensively has done a really good job possession of football. Their time of possession is really good, which keeps obviously their defense off the field and let those guys play fresh. They've done, those runners are real, and then you load the box and quarterback can hurt you throwing it down the field. So something we've got to do on third down is get off the field, give ourselves an opportunity. Defensively, they've done a really good job of swarming to the football and play physical. They've got good players and playing at a high level. So we've got our work cut out for us. I know our guys are excited, and should be a lot of fun. Injury-wise, really no updates. The one, Josh Hammond will be questionable with the back. He's the newest one. Kadarius, we'll find out on Wednesday where he's at. He tried to go a little bit yesterday. When we got back and as far as doing some running and that kind of stuff. So we'll see from there. Zaninga will be a week. We'll find out here during this week, see how much he can go. Should get Moon back. Tyreek Cleveland ran pretty decent yesterday, but we'll limit kind of where that goes from there. And I think those are kind of the ones that have been out. Obviously, Quincy Linton, who was doing a really good job for us on some of the special teams, is out. He had a scope done on that. I think you guys are well aware of all the guys that are out, and if there's any individual questions, feel free to ask. Okay.
Mark, how do you look at this week? Is it kind of a chance to salvage the season?
No, I think it's a chance for us to go get better. And, we just haven't finished. But two opportunities to finish games and we didn't. And, that's what these young guys got to figure out, that, when you give yourself an opportunity to win in the fourth quarter, you got to take advantage of it. We didn't do that in the last two ball games.
And then did you guys do anything, evaluation, self-scouting, all that stuff during the bye week? Come at a good time too?
Yeah, it was. I think, this is kind of a standard plan. This is the bye week every year. Before this is their bye week, so it's an opportunity to do a lot of that. It's an opportunity to hopefully get yourself healthy a little bit and get some guys ready to go for the game. It was big recruiting as well as we look forward to early signing day, and so those things go in every bye week, and you've got kind of those mapped out. And it was good for some of our guys to be able to get home, that haven't, because of the way our school is. They're actually starting camp, when school's still in, so they haven't had an opportunity, to get home, and a bunch of them were able to do that.
Thomas.
You mentioned the recruiting. What was kind of the reaction, I guess, given the way things have gone this year?
No, it's been great. It's been really positive. positive. A lot of guys see the opportunity they're going to have, and momentum's been really good with that.
Does the strategy change at all given that early signing period? I mean, are there differences this year where maybe you're giving different pitches to different guys?
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see. Obviously, we'd like to sign all 25, in December, and we'll see. Certain guys are ready earlier. Obviously, the ones that we can get in here, at mid-year, we've got pretty good deal set up as far as that announcement.
Hector?
How much, is there a point where Malik Zaire gets a second chance?
Yeah, there'll be, he keeps continuing to work and get a little bit better.
But are you at the point where, does he not fit what you're trying to do, or is it a thing where you just want to see Felipe just develop?
Yeah, he'll continue to work the way it's been and get his opportunities when and if that comes up.
And with Felipe, what is it that you focused on last week? What's maybe kind of missing there that he needs to pick up here going forward?
I think the big thing is just, don't get locked in. Don't preset or predetermined a little bit, and really just take your one cue and move from there, and throw it to those guys that are open.
We'll go Robbie and then Pat after that. Robbie.
What are some things you can do to kind of help a young team learn how to finish?
Well, I think that's what one of the things you do in practice, points of emphasis. We've been pretty good at it in the past. We slipped up in 2 weeks, and the big thing is you don't hit the panic button. You obviously talk about it, call it what it is, and continue to move forward.
But is it encouraging that you did have a chance to win those games in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, and but we expect to, and that's.
Pat?
Obviously the last couple of years against them, you've been able to run the ball. That seemed obviously one of your strengths this year, but how much of a challenge is it to run against this defense?
No, they load the box. We're going to have to make some plays downfield with that. And, we've got to do a really good job changing up not only tempos, but, making sure when they do get the box loaded, we've got to hit some of those shots downfield. And, that's something that, he does a really good job of defending, and yet, we've got to get some of those guys shots downfield too.
Gary?
Jim, you mentioned this on the, SEC.
We get him on the.
He's on there.
Is he on there?
He's just
Highly questionable.
Thomas was on there last week.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You mentioned this on the SEC teleconference about Georgia not asking Jake Fromm to do a whole lot with the running game and the defense, but in Missouri he had to bail,
and he did.
He had to bail him out. So did you see any kind of a light switch with him compared to the games before and then that Missouri game?
Yeah, no, obviously, they had an interception early, that put the ball down there, and I think the one thing they've done is they don't hit the panic button with it, and yet they gave him an opportunity to throw a lot of, single level reads. He hit a bunch of sail routes and some things for chunks, and yet they still had the opportunity to run the ball. I think the big thing is when you see that, there was no panic in what they were doing, and ended up running away with it.
Ryan and Matt?
Just going back to Edgar's things, there's no ambiguity. Felipe is the starter this week.
Yeah.
And then, so going through your evaluation.
That's good. I like that.
It's good to get things clear.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So going through the bye week and your evaluations, what is it that you're seeing with Felipe that gives you the confidence that he is going to take that next step and show that next level that you're hoping he gets to?
He continues to get a little bit better. He's got obviously a lot of ability, and he's got to continue to roll forward.
What are the areas you've seen improvement in him to this point?
I thought that he's handled some situations pretty decent, and he's starting to figure get a call and let's go.
Matt,
As you were ticking through Georgia, you kind of skipped over the offensive line. How much improvement have you seen on that unit from Georgia?
Tons. Well, they've done a really good job. Obviously, Sam does an unbelievable job with those guys. They do a really good job, offensively as far as teaching. And, they give those guys those backs, those two-way goes. And if your backers feel wrong, they make it happen. They've done an unbelievable job up front.
I know obviously you want to win this week, but are you happy for Kirby and what he's done so far there?
Yeah, you feel good about, he's got things going, which, you know what, this is the way Florida, Georgia, man, that's what this side should be about.
Thomas.
Kind of, I guess building off that, a lot of programs have tried to hire off the Nick Saban coaching tree, tried to kind of model that Alabama program. What has Kirby done that's been so successful there so far?
Well, they've done a great job of recruiting. They're keeping guys at home. One thing you see is stay the course and consistent in what you do and how you do it.
Zach.
Jim, going back to the recruiting, you said it's been great. Other than relationships, which I know is key, what would you attribute why guys have stayed so committed or high on you guys despite the way the season's going?
Well, I think you hit number one, relationships, but number two, I think there are opportunities and seeing the growth of everything from the facilities to the emphasis put on certain things. I think it's been really good.
And then negative recruiting, that piece is not something that you can control or worry about, but when guys come to you, your own kids, if they heard something or were said to them, how do you and your coaches handle that?
Well, it's that's a tactic that a lot of people use. It's just not something we believe in. We're honest and upfront. Let them know the way it's going to be.
Mark.
Following up on that, a national writer last week, pretty respected guy, says you might be feel underappreciated here and might bolt for Oregon State. Did you face any of those questions while you're out there recruiting? And is there any thought at all to something like that or any reaction when something like that gets thrown out?
No, and it's interesting. It's that time of year, and those are things that people throw out. At the same time, we've got a hell of a group coming in. We're playing a lot of young guys right now that are playing pretty darn hard, and I think you have a chance to be really good players. And our main focus is what we did in the bye week. Now moving forward to go play Georgia, and never given it any thought.
And then you said earlier, we expect to finish strong, win these games. Is there any part of you that's proud of the way these guys have fought through the injuries, the suspensions, the hurricanes? I mean, they've had a lot on their plate and a lot of chances here to give up, throw in the towel, hang their head, and they haven't.
No. It's something that there are no excuses. You take advantage of whatever opportunity you're given and figure out a way to go do it. And we haven't finished. And, that's our responsibility. We expect to win. We'll continue that moving forward. But like I said, I like these guys, man. They come to work every day, and they're a fun group to be around.
But don't the coaching staff, coaches, these guys deserve some credit for hanging in there?
That's credit in this business is internal. It's never external. So, I think it's a pretty good kind of lesson for the way things are. There's a lot of hate in this world, and a lot of anger, and yet it's freedom to show it. And the hard part is obviously when the threats against your own players, death threats threats to your families. You know, the ill will that's brought upon out there, and yet, you know, I think it's really one of those deals that really is a pretty good testament to what's going on out there nationally. A lot of angry people in this business. We're the ones that you take the shots at, and that's the way it is.
Edgar?
Death threats?
Mm-hmm.
Can you expand?
No.
Yeah, that was just surprising to hear that thrown in among the
Yep.
list. I mean, vitriol is one thing. Are you shocked? I guess I was going to ask about Georgia, but to continue on this,
Sure.
are you shocked by the level of the vitriol? And
No, I think it's, you know,
Did you
here's
expect it?
here's the one thing, you're in the business, that's all part of it, you get it. It's when it's directed toward your players, when it's directed towards families, wives, you know, that kind of thing. And yet, at the same time, they know what they signed up for as well, and that's part of the business.
the Georgia quarterback, obviously first-year guy, but he's got a great supporting cast. Has that been a big part of his success, or is he just kind of a special kid with an it factor?
He's doing a good job. I mean, obviously they did a year ago too, and they put some pieces around him that are playing at a high level. I mean, those backs are real, as you guys know, and they're healthy, and they're running a good crew through there, and you know, they're doing a really good job formationally. Some shifts, some motions, and doing a little fastball stuff that kind of keep guys off balance and helping him a little bit too.
I was going to ask you about the two backs. What do you see from them? And they're different kinds of guys. I mean, Chubb's very physical. Michelle can catch and do a lot of things.
Yeah, and they just they do a good job of complementing each other. And I see the unselfish nature in which those guys are playing, and you know, I think that speaks a lot about where their team is right now.
Thomas?
Going back to Malik Zaire, are you getting more or less what you expected out of him, or have there been maybe some hurdles or challenges that maybe you didn't anticipate?
Yeah, he continues to work, and that's a good thing.
Did you expect him to maybe contribute more to this morning?
You know, you expect all of them to contribute. So.
Ryan?
Given your time together with Kirby, is it human nature that there's some extra competitiveness between the two of you as you both try and build contenders in the same division?
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, there's some of that, and obviously we went against each other in a lot of springs. You know, so I'm sure there's a little bit of that.
And then you personally received a death threat, or your family did? Okay, all right.
Any final questions, guys?
I got one.
Go, Mark.
This is a little off topic, but Georgia and Alabama, there's already all this talk about them possibly both ending up in the playoff. Is that a possibility? I mean, I know it's a possibility, but is that
Say that. I'm sorry. Say it again. I missed it. No.
Alabama and Georgia?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's already all this talk about them both ending up in the college football playoff, despite potentially playing in the SEC. Is that a legitimate possibility in your eyes? I mean, and do you think that is a good for college football to have those kind of?
You know, I think that's the one thing that you know, the playoff itself and having the committee, you know, getting the best four teams. If they're part of the best four teams, they ought to be in it. You know, it happened one year, you know, before this, where we played, it was Alabama and LSU. And so, but with that being said, there's a lot of ball to be played before they anoint those four, as you know.
Gary?
Jim, how were any of these threats communicated, and have you guys felt the need to turn anything over to law enforcement?
No, it is what it is.
You all set?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.